Okay, so first of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Azaz, and I am having a 5 years of experience in open source technologies like Liferay, Mule, and Java also. I am a Oracle certified Java developer. And also I wrote a book on Mule ESB. So I am a lead author of that book.
Okay.
So shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So Varun, what your background?
Actually, right
Basically,
now I'm working
which
on
technology are you working
right now I'm
currently?
working on TIPCO middleware for
Okay,
mobile.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So
Actually, we have an
I will just
integration.
sorry.
Actually, we have an integration with Core API. Core API to TIPCO, and then in our project we use the Core API and then TIPCO as well. So I just want to.
Okay.
I think MuleSoft has both the REST APIs and then this middleware services, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm interested in this MuleSoft. How was the
So
job opportunities for this?
sorry, pardon. Can you repeat it?
How are job opportunities for this particular tool?
This particular tool is right now it's very hot hot market because that Mule ESB people is very rare to find out that particular these technologies because right now in Ahmedabad one company is there, so they are find this Mule ESB guys for last 1.5 years to to contract in a one UK company is there. So they are find out for last 1.5 year, but they didn't find any guy to work on Mule ESB. So it's a very popular right now. This technology is very popular nowadays,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So shall we start?
Yeah, sure.
So Mule ESB is a basically lightweight Java-based service bus. It's called one second. It's called Enterprise Service Bus. ESB stands for Enterprise Service Bus. So in a Mule, you can integrate the different application, and that application will communicate through Mule in a Mule. So each application will communicate through the ESB. So each and every application will communicate through the ESB, Enterprise Service Bus. So in a Mule, they provide a different features like a service creation and hosting. In a Mule, you can create your services and you can apply your hosting in your services. So apart from the services, you can create the message routing is there. So there is a two type of message routing: inbound message routing and outbound message routings. So whatever the message you send to that particular another component, so message will first send to the inbound component, and then that message will transfer to that outbound component. And the other one is a data transformation. So using a component, you can transfer your data from the one component to the other component. So there are different type of components are available in a Mule.
Okay.
So it's the Mule is a purely based Java based messaging framework. If you see the Mule Anypoint Studio, it's similar like the Eclipse tool. If you use the Eclipse on your project or any other, so you are familiar with that Anypoint Studios. So they are built in a Eclipse tools. So it's a similar like Eclipse tools. So in a Mule, there are different types of provider provides a component. So one is a transformation component, another is a routing component, the third one is a filter component. So that each and every components have its own ability to transfer the data. So
Okay.
Here you can see the before ESB. This diagram shows the before ESB. So before ESB, each application will communicate without the ESB. So it is very difficult to identify the which application will be communicate through which application. So it is very difficult to manage this application to communicate the different application to different application. So here it will be very difficult to manage this type of application without ESB. So after ESB, you can see this diagram. So each application will communicate through the ESB. So without ESB, you can't communicate with this application. So in a middleware, you just put the Mule ESB. So using this enterprise service bus, each application will coordinate with this ESB, enterprise service bus.
Okay.
So after the ESB, it will be very easy to identify the two application communication path. So using the ESB, the each and every application will communicate through the ESB. And
Okay.
this is the overview of Mule configuration diagram. So in a Mule, you can see the spring beans also, connectors also. There are different types of connector. Global configuration also, global endpoints also. This all are inside the Mule Anypoint Studio. So each components act as a differently depending on your requirement. So for example, if you integrate the third-party application, or if you integrate the any other application, so at that time you have to use the connector. So there are different type of connectors are there. Mule itself provide a lot of connectors are there. If you see the Mule side, so they provide a lot of connectors are there. Twitter, Facebook, AWS. There are a lot of the Dropbox. They provide a lot of connector to integrate the third-party application. So using that connector, you can integrate the third-party application. The same way the global configuration. Global configuration means if you for example, if you create one application, in that application you can drag the one flow, one component. So that component in your project use multiple times. So what you will do, you have to just configure that component in a global configuration. So if you you have to configure once time, and the rest of that time you have to just identify that component name. You in second time you don't have to configure that component. You have to just pass that global component name in your service, in your project. So you have to reuse that component again and again. So it's called a global configuration.
Okay.
So these are, and I will show you one overview of that component.
Okay. So this is totally, actually this is totally just like an TIBCO middleware projects only, right? Because usually in TIBCO middleware you use whatever those palettes that we have. In the same manner, we have both REST API services, and we can just design those palettes, right? Instead of palettes, we have transformations and then filters, connectors.
Yes, they all are there. Here you can see the filters and all that. But the requirement is, so if you have in a Mule, when you use the Mule, the requirement of Mule depending on your project. So some organizations are used to Mule because they integrate the third-party services or any other services. If they integrated, then they use the Mule. For example, if they integrated the order payment gateway, so at that time they use the Mule ESB because they have to maintain the order. So at that time they have to use the Mule ESB. So depending on your on different project, they use the Mule. But in your requirement, I don't know about the TIBCO, but as you told, you have to configure that REST web services. So Mule also provide the two web service component, REST and SOAP.
Okay.
So I will show you that REST component. So here if you can see that, so this is the REST component, and if you double click on that component, so all the properties are available for the configure for that REST component.
Okay.
Right. So they provide both the web service component, REST and SOAP. Here you can see the CXF and REST. They provide the both the component, and they provide the different type of filters are there.
Okay.
The filter is basically used whenever you define the condition, any type of condition or any type of validation, right? So at that time you can use the filter.
Okay.
And this is the connector, as I was told you. If you integrate the third-party services, like if your requirement is you have to connect with the Amazon services, so you have to, at that time you have to configure the Amazon S3 connector. So you have to for that you have to have some requirement. So at that time you have this type of configuration details, destination keys and source bucket name and key, all that you already have this type of configuration details. If you have, then at that time you have to just configure that Amazon connector.
Okay.
So if you integrate yes, tell me.
How about this global configuration? Where will be just configure?
Yes. Yes. Here, one second. So here you can see this 3-tab message flow,
okay,
global elements, and configuration XML. So whenever you drag that component, right? For example, here you can one second. So first of all, I will see you the global element. So here, so what we'll do here, you have to just click on the create button, and here, for example, here is one. I was already used one global element. So I was used one HTTP connector. So in a HTTP connector, this connector I am using multiple times in my project. So what I will do here, I just give the proper name to my connector. So what we'll do now, here I will configure only once. What we'll do now, just click on the message flow, and if I this connector I was used again second time, right? So first time I was used in my first flow, and second time I was used in a second flow. So what we'll do here, I just pass the connector name, right? So it will be automatically added this configuration in that connector. You don't have to mention manually.
Okay.
Right. So it's called the global configuration or global element.
Okay.
And this is one of configuration XML. If you know how to write the XML, and if you master in a XML to write down a XML file, so you have to direct write down your file itself. If, for example, if you take the local component, right? So here you can see that local component, right? So just click on that, right? Now click on the message flow. So here you can see this, the local component, it will be automatically added. So you can editing both way. One is a direct UI side, or other way is a to write down a XML file.
Okay.
Right. So you can write down both way, either creating a XML file, or you can just go to the message flow tab and drag your component. So it will be automatically added. If you remove it here, so that part will be automatically removed in a XML file. Here you can see that that part is automatically removed.
Okay.
Right. So this is the simple basic flow here I was created. So I will explain you the simple basic flow. So what we'll do here, I just drag one HTTP connector because I want to display my output on my browser. So that's why I take one HTTP connector. So what we'll do here, whenever you drag that connector, so if you configure that connector, you have to just double click on that connector. So once you double click on that connector, so that connector properties files are open. So in that connector, you have to configure this HTTP connector. So here I was already configured the in a global element. So here I just mentioned that connector reference name, right? So here I will show you what configure I was here. Just double click on that connector. So here I just assign a port, and this is my host name. Right now I don't want production environment or acceptance environment. That's why I use the local host. Right?
Okay.
So my URL is localhost colon 8081.
Okay.
So this is my simple configuration in HTTP component.
Okay.
Right? And now here I assign a path.
Okay.
Right? If you assign a path, then you can assign a path. If you don't assign a path, then it will be default.
No, what is this path?
Path means
when do we use
path
this?
means path it means you assign your URL. Right now your URL should be localhost colon 8081. If you type this URL on your browser and hit the enter, your output will be displayed. Now you enter the path /test. Now your URL was changed. Now your URL should be localhost colon 8081/test. If you hit the enter, then your output will be displayed. This is called a URL. You add one more parameter in your URL.
Okay.
Now I drag one component set payload. So this is the expression language. It's called a Mule expression language, right? This I will let you later if we go the further, we will go the further. But simple, I will tell you, this is my string content. In double quote, I write my string content. Whatever the string content you have, just pass it in a double quote. The single quote, hello world. Right? Now this string content I have to convert into a uppercase. So this is the dot to uppercase. This is my function. This is the inbuilt function. I haven't created. This function will provide a Mule itself.
Okay, sure.
Right? And this is the properties file. So in this properties file, whatever the message is coming from the previous component, so message dot inbound properties, HTTP query dot params dot name. Right? This is the syntax Mule expression language.
Okay.
HTTP query params dot name. This is my parameter name. And this is the logger. Logger, it means it will be display the output log on my console, right? That's why we will use the logger. Logger is only used for the log purpose.
Yeah.
Console. So you identify the message through the log.
Yes.
So now I deploy this application. This is my hello world.xml file, right? So whenever you create a project, so this file.xml file will be created automatically, right? So how you create a project in Mule? So just go to the file, click on new, and here you can see the Mule project. Just click on that and configure all the properties. Just select the server and click on next. So once you create that project, so your one XML file. Yes.
Can you just tell me the difference that API MuleSoft and then
that API MuleSoft, it means that one Ramol part is there, one in a Mule. Just now they in this version, last version, they provide one Ramol part, right? So whenever you create a project in a Ramol part, Ramol using a Ramol, so at that time you can use that API gateway.
Okay.
So this is the different portion.
Okay.
So how you deploy this application? So right click on your XML file and go to Run As and Mule application. Click on Mule application.
Okay.
So here you can see this message, your application has been successfully deployed. If any error, so they throw the exception. But right now in this application, we didn't find any exception. So if you see this type of message, it means your application has been successfully deployed. So now our URL should be localhost colon 8081. So here we can see this message. This message will be displayed through the logger component. So we already assign a logger component in a flow, in our flow. So that's why this message will be displayed from the logger component, and this hello world will text come from here. Here you can see that hello world, right, dot to uppercase, right? So that string, it will be converted into a uppercase. Okay. So using that component, my string will be automatically converted into a uppercase.
Okay.
So like this, you can create your simple Mule application in a Mule.
Okay.
So using this component, I will show you the simple application, how to create a simple application on Mule.
Okay. Okay, I understood it. So usually this in this Mule projects, right? How it will be? I'm just explaining how our projects will be. We have a in middleware we have a front end, like, or as the upstream core API will be there, and then there will be some services and the operations which they invoke, and then the same service operations we will get invoked from the backend systems, right? So how will you do all those things in this? Because there will be a big XML payload, and there will be a transformations, and we will send it to the backend, and then we will get it from them, right? So in that way we'll do it, or in this MuleSoft, how only we will just develop directly apps, or how it will be?
That I have to still I don't know about the in the depth or of your project, how you will do using this your TIPCO project will implement in this Mule. So I don't know about that, but let me if can you tell me the front end side, which application you communicate using the Mule, which framework you have to used to communicate with the mule? Which REST API do you have?
You are asking me?
Yes, yes, I'm asking you.
No, actually, I didn't understand. You are in my project or in this particular MuleSoft?
No, no, in your project. You asking me your requirement, right? How we can
See, there are multiple services actually. There are multiple REST API services are there where
okay.
and then we use actually a lot of things, adapters and then web services,
Okay.
HTTP services
So
and
yes, yes. So that mule is mule in a mule you can use the REST web services. As I show you that component. So using that component you can create your requirement. You can create your requirement in a Mule ESB using this component, the REST component. If you have the REST API and if you know the how to invoke, then it will be very easy to you.
okay. And one more thing is how many days it will take for to complete this MuleSoft training?
It will take the 4 days, and per day it will take 4 to 5 hours, depending on your grasping, how you grasp the particular topic, and how, that's depending on your grasping skills. Normally it will take the 5 hours per day.
5 hours. I need to go to office. 5 hours I can spend actually. So
No. That normally it will 5 hours. But if you want to convert those hours into the weekends, for example, the Saturday Sunday you will you provided 2 hours, right? So in a weekend we converted into a 4 hours. The second weekend we converted into 4 hours. So like that we can continue the 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
okay. No, instead of that,
Right?
can't you take daily sessions for 1.5 hour?
Yes, that possible. That will also possible.
Yeah, actually that will be easy if you take 1.5 hour sessions daily. Then
Yes, yes, that will possible. I don't think that daily it will be possible, but we can arrange the alternate days.
yeah, even alternate days will also be fine.
Yeah, right? Because why
Because
I
at
would
least
say like that? Because if today I will explain you one topic, right? 1.5 hour. So you can practice those topic to next day,
sure. Yeah,
right?
alternate days will be fine. Yeah, that will
Yes,
work. And then will
yes.
you show any kind of live projects on this MuleSoft?
Uh, I don't have any live projects, but I will show you that I have lots of examples I was created. So that example will be enough for you. So I will show you each and every example which I have. So those examples are directly or indirectly some parts of the small projects, right?
Okay.
It will be I will show you the some example of integration of Dropbox and Alfresco is there. So I have some example to integration some and also I have some example on Ramol API. So how you create your own API in a Mule. So that example also I will show you how you create your own API using the Ramol.
Okay. Sure.
Right.
Oh,
Hello.
and then we have these two projects also, right?
Sorry.
You have the soup projects also, right?
Which project? I am
Soup,
not able to hear you.
soup.
Yes. waste and soap, both the example also I have, the small example I have, so I will show you that example also.
Okay, okay. Because the whole point is, if I just go into the live projects, right, I should be able to do a live if when I just went into the projects, right, I should be able to directly do it, because live projects will be with the big payloads, and then they'll just give a whole bunch of mapping documents and everything to just design it. So and then deployments will be there, and then it will be a whole different story.
But after this training, you have to idea how you can do it, right? So that's the main thing. After this training, you have to idea how to do how to create your flow, or how to create your services in Mule, and how to configure that component in your project.
Okay. Yeah. Sure, Rajesh. I'll communicate with Anil, and then yeah, I'll get back.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Anil.
Yeah, thank you, Varun. I will get back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.